Hey there, it's Crafty Jennabug. It's another video of me working in this awesome March journal. I'm so happy to be working in this thing. I just cannot express that enough. So to avoid temptation for my cat, move that. I've actually taken to moving this journal where she can't get it anytime I need to wait for it to dry, because there are so many things that she would like to eat. The ribbon, sharing a craft room with a cat is quite difficult sometimes, but you know, she's almost 15. I've learned to work around her. So, what to work on today? I think I've done a lot of stuff in the first signature. I want to go to the second signature and focus some time there, because I've only done like a couple of pages in here. This was the last one I did. Oh, I still need to print something out for that, or cut something out on my Cricut for that. Okay, so I want to focus on this. Now, the other night, my brother called me, and we were talking for a couple hours. About an hour and a half. And while he was on the phone with me, I hate sitting still. So I played around a little bit and made a few things. My sewing machine was sitting right in front of me. And so I started playing around with it. I had this flour seed mix that I no longer had seeds in because I used them, and it was ripped all kinds of crazy. I'm not even sure how, but I turned it into a tuck spot by sewing across the bottom. It was actually open across the bottom for some reason and ripped here. So I did some crazy sewing across the bottom and up the side. Couple of different layers. I was having some issues with my sewing machine also. I can't remember what exactly was going on, but it was not cooperating, so things got a little funky. I'll try this in a knot real quick while I'm thinking about it. So yeah, it's kind of crazy and grungy, and I figured it could be a cool tuck spot. I can just glue it down, stick something in it, and it fits kind of the theme. This actually might wait until the May journal, potentially. I'm not sure yet, but I made it while I was on the phone. It may or may not make its way into this journal. Might be another journal. And then I wanted to experiment with some like tuck spots with scraps. I took a piece of packing paper that I had put green paint and gold paint on, folded it funny so that it has this little like tuck spot right here, and could be a tuck spot itself, like a double tuck spot kind of thing. Took a die cut of a dragonfly that was like a sideways shot, and just a little scrap that had some copper paint put on it, and a fabric scrap from the front of the journal. I don't know if you can see that right there. And I thought that would make a cool little tuck spot or two, you know, tuck spot or double tuck spot. Lots of strings. I sewed over it all kinds of crazy. I tried to get the stitching to go directly down the body of the dragonfly, but it didn't work out. So I ended up just kind of going crazy all over it. But that could be a cool tuck spot. And then there's lots of strings and things on the side. I could or could not, I may or may not leave. Could even shift it so that a little bit of it sticks out. Oh, actually I like that on this page. And then that could be a tuck spot, and this could be a little spot for some tickets or something. That might work. Then I made this one, which I'm not quite sure what I was thinking. I just was digging through the scrap box. This was a piece of cardstock that I sewed across, and then I sewed down both of these pieces for the tuck spot to be, find something to tuck in it, so that it's kind of a weird tuck spot like that. And it itself could be a pocket. Definitely not on this page, but Could be a pocket and a tuck spot at once. I don't know, it seemed kind of interesting. I could put something decorative here as well to kind of make it tie in together a little more. I don't know, it just seemed neat, and like I said, I was just futzing around while I was on the phone and wanted to keep my hands busy. And then the final one I made is this one. And again, I took some of that packing paper. I made a little tuck spot here for something small. This itself could be a tuck spot as well. Some of that dyed canvas ribbon I cut or I ripped, I can't remember which, but I did a cool stitch across it, and then I sewed here a few times to keep this fold in place, and I made a paper flower, and I thought that would be cool. It could be like that, or it could be a sideways tuck spot, potentially. Actually, I really like it like that. Maybe not this page, but a different one. Definitely has to be on the right side of a page, though, because of the way the tuck spot is. Although I could make this the tuck spot. Oh snap, did I just make it extra? I have to put it in the middle. It could hold extra things. Okay. Okay. But I thought it was cool. Do I like that one there more, or do I like this one here more? I think this would be better in the middle. Maybe on one of those little pages like that. Maybe something like that. So I think I will actually put this down here so that it sticks out a little bit. But first, I could sew it to the page, but I don't want to add any more sewing to this, honestly. It's got enough, I think. I kind of expected to glue this down somewhere, I think. Actually, I kind of like it there. And just have it. Okay, well, that was easy. So that's going to need something to go in it. I think it might need a sentiment, actually. Alright, so I added a little sentiment that says Dragonfly, and I used some mustard seed distress oxide ink to make it yellow because there was not any yellow here yet, and it kind of ties it together for me, you know. We've got this over here, sticking down real well. Sweet. Now I'm going to let this dry before I start putting ephemera in it. Let's see, what can I do with this page? I like the idea of this invitation being on this page. So I could make a pocket out of something. Alright, so I've got my pocket. It's just a little piece of scrapbooking paper. I edged around it with Distress Oxide ink in Vintage Photo. I made some little hinges on the back. So I took a piece of scrap paper and folded it in half and then glued it down to the back of the pocket, and then I'm going to glue it to the page. That way it can accommodate how thick this envelope is without being strained too much, hopefully. And then that way, this can go in here without issue. Once it's dry, of course. So that has to dry. And while it does, I should probably figure out what to put on this page. Now, in case you haven't seen the video before this one, I made this in the last video. I used the prompt jars and made some ephemera because I'm embracing the chaos of March by using prompt jars to make a lot of ephemera. And inside this envelope is an invitation to a garden party. So, in case you didn't see that, I made that in the previous video. I think I want to add maybe a magazine flower here. I don't think I have, no, I don't have any recently. So let me go through my magazine flower pieces and see if I can find something that will fit for me. All right, so I made a magazine flower. Well, it's from 2 pieces of cutouts from magazines and a piece of music paper that I cut a flower out of. And then I put a brad in the middle, kind of in the middle. Whoops. Oh well, not quite centered. And I'm going to stick it right here. It's very big. It's very obnoxious, but I like the way it sits. And I like the way it looks peeking out from the other side. So I'm going to glue that down. And then I think it looks really cool sticking out there. And I have a little bit of this green mesh ribbon thing. And I kind of want it sticking out right there. And for that, I will use Liquitex Matte Gel. How will this? Oh yeah. I like that a lot. Sweet. Still got to figure out what to do with this. Like I said, I think I like it to flip, which means I got to do something to this page. I bent this page so that it had a tuck spot on the other side, and then that would shorten this page and I could glue this down. Maybe I'll do that, but either way, I gotta wait for this stuff to dry. So maybe I will shift gears and make some ephemera. All right, I have these 3 little 6x6" pieces of scrapbook paper, and I thought they would be really cool for some backgrounds for tags. So this one, I think I just want to cut. That can be the base of a journal card. I could add a tab to it. I'm not quite sure yet what I want to do with this. I just really wanted it for my journal. I have some of those gold butterfly stickers I could put on it. That would be cute. But I'm just kind of messing around right now. This one, I think I do want to add some of these butterfly stickers, or maybe just one. I mean, it kind of gets lost, unfortunately. But I think I will make this for a tuck spot. I'm going to distress around it in some frayed burlap. This, I think I want to use in a tuck spot and put a piece of lace ribbon off the side, depending on which side tuck spot I want to use it on. So this is not complete, but I'm going to leave it where it is. I think that butterfly is kind of cool. It's like hidden in there a little bit. And that's a nice little spot to journal on. All right, for the sake of time, I ended up making these 2 off camera. This one I just took a cut image from a piece of scrapbook paper. I inked around it in frayed burlap, inked around the edge of this tag with frayed burlap, and glued that down. I punched a hole with a hole punch and used a piece of light brown satin ribbon and a little bit of lace trim and just glued them together up there. On the back, I distressed the whole thing with old paper distress oxide and used frayed burlap to edge around the back of that. And actually I'm going to, this glue still needs to dry, so I'm going to just pinch those together to dry. Well, that's probably not the best way to do it. Let's do it this way. Let that dry. And then this one, I distressed around the edges in mustard seed. I added a few pieces, just a little collage kind of thing from, various different sources. This came from a fairy themed scrapbooking set. This, and this came from the Tim Holtz Ideology Field Notes snippet pack. And then this Green Spring sentiment came from a scrapbook paper pad that had a bunch of like punch outs. I distressed the back in mustard seed as well, and I might dribble some water on the back of this one too. Alright, so those are done for now. I was just working on those while the pages dried that I had worked on previously, and now let's check them out. So this is dry now. I really like it. I think it's really cool. And then when I turn the page, you can see the flower pieces poking from behind. This needs something that could go in there. Did I end up gluing? Okay, yeah, I did. That. Or, could try this one. Actually, I like this one the most, so once it's dry, it'll go in there. I have this little piece. It's like a faux postcard I cut out of a piece of scrapbooking paper that was full of them, and I think it will look super cute right in here. And then when that green tag is dry, I will stick it in here, and that page will be complete. This page I'm calling done. It's also not the signature. So that gives me a couple more pages done. Loving it. This is so big. This, now that this page is dry, I can do this the way I wanted to. I was going to turn this into a tuck spot here. Something like that. And then that way I can glue that down. That could work as a tuck spot for this. Oh yeah. And then you'll see just half that butterfly, and I can put the little tab here. That's what we're doing. Sweet. Do I want to glue this down? I could make it a tuck spot. I could back it. I could leave it. Decisions. Alright, first things first, I'm going to glue this side to make this a tuck spot, and then that will look so cute, just peeking out of there. Awesome. Alright, I have this piece which I cut off of one of those long pieces. Where did I end up putting it? I don't even remember. It was so long ago. Oh, there it is. It went on here. I think I want to put it this one here. I really like the way this looks. Do I want to add some stenciling before I do? And I can stencil on this side as well. Alright, this page is done now. I just glued it down. I glued down this little flap after I stenciled some leaves. I thought they were cute. And then I distressed around the edge of this page with frayed burlap. And then for this page, like I said, I'm going to put this here. Alright, I decided just to glue this down like that. I thought about stenciling behind it, but there's so much fun grunge going on, I don't really want to mess it up. But I did glue it only on these three sides so I could stick something in here should I decide to. Alright, I wasn't sure what to do with this page because I didn't really want to cover up all of this beautiful grunginess that I've got going on. But then I remembered this guy, and I think it just looks like it belongs. So I'm going to glue it on as a pocket. And then in the pocket will go this tag I just made. I think I've got a home for all three of these new tags. That makes me very happy. Yeah. Over the course of like a couple of pages. Sweet. So, let's glue this baby down. And since I'm waiting for that to dry, I've got this mica spray or it's mica powder in water. And it doesn't really do much, but add a little sparkle to the page. Actually, it doesn't really add much at all. Maybe I should just dry that and then do some gold splatters. Alright, this glue I believe has dried. I splattered some gold on both of these pages, and I added this little charm to the strings that were here. And then this can happily live there now. I really like that page. I think the yellow in here complements the yellow here. Sweet. And then I have some yellow paint, or I still have some gold paint left over that I would like to splatter. I think I will splatter some here. All right. Lots of gold splatters on both these pages. Lovely. Yes, is this dry? I think it is. So then that can go in there. Very cute. All right, we're just waiting on this one to dry. Yeah, it's not ready yet. Awesome. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 pages already? And once that's dry, I can figure out some things to put in it. I might put just a ticket on this side, and I think I might do a small tag on this one so that it comes out. So I decided instead of letting this dry, I wanted to take more of this gold splatter paint I still have and just kind of put some on the edges. Alright, I have this scrapbook paper, and I think this part here would make a really cool pocket on the page behind here. This page is the one that has this notepad on it, and it's not very sturdy. So I figure using this is a thicker cardstock type paper, and just using that across the bottom here would really strengthen that page. Oh yeah, but I don't like the background now. I'm gonna do this, and then I'll get some distress sprays. I think that is about as good as I'm gonna get it. I'm not real pleased with how yellow everything is, but we're gonna go with it. We're just gonna go with it. There's gonna be something in this pocket anyway, so. And that is making that nowhere near as flimsy as it was. Wonderful. And I love the torn edge down here. I did that intentionally. Both, there's a torn edge on the bottom of this page and also on the bottom of this pocket. I really like that. This has dried. I'm not sure yet what to put in here. It ended up very like bulgy. Can you see that? It needs something thick, I think, is what that means. I wonder, can this little booklet fit? Not quite. Darn, that would have been perfect. The other one's the same size or a little smaller? Ooh, if it were a deeper pocket. That could, oh, that can work. Okay, well that's what's going in there, because I don't think anything else would fit well. And it just adds to the chaos a little bit. So I decided that I want to do another like hole in a page kind of thing. I did it in the January journal and made it look like hydrangeas were coming out. But this time I'm going to use, this is the main page, and there's going to be a big hole on it. And then behind it, a smaller hole. And then an even smaller hole. And then this will be the page that they're all glued to. So I'm going to use my water brush and wet where I want my biggest hole to be, to make it easier for ripping. I'm pretty excited about that actually. And while it's still wet, I am going to just kind of rip it a little and make it grungy around there. I want to make things coming out, so that means I'm going to have to get the die cuts out. And I think I want to sew around all of it also. There we go. All right, I'm going to let that dry so that I can sew by hand around it. All right, this has dried. I can't remember if I filmed gluing it down, but I did glue around a little bit. This is opened because I put the glue too high, but it will get sewn shut in a moment. I have 3 strands of just regular embroidery floss. You know, there's 6 strands usually on one of these, and I separated 3 out and put them on my needle, and I tied a knot in the end, and I think I want the knot to stick out of the front. Well, unfortunately, my battery died before I could finish sewing. It was right at the end, too. But there we have it. Both sides of that. And I don't think I want the other pages sticking out. So I'm going to rip them and remove them. Now I think I am ready to glue this down. I think I will put just a little bit of glue in a few of these folded tears. And then coming out, I have a bunch of ferns. What I intend to look like ferns. This is the biggest one. Oh my goodness, I just love that. I think that is complete. And then you'll see some of it sticking out. Oh, I love it. I love it. That is amazing. And it was so much fun. I'm just kind of stuck staring at it for a minute. It's really cool. Wow, I made that. Sweet. Well, there is that awesome page. That might be my new favorite so far. Well, I think that's where I'm going to end this video. I've done a lot of pages in this video, and I think that's a good stopping point. I don't think I can top that today. So, thank you so much for watching. I hope you're enjoying this video series. I'm really having a lot of fun and expanding my experience as far as junk journaling goes. I hope you have a great day. Bye.